Hey friends, I'm Erin and this is Erin Go Read. Welcome to a weekend reading vlog. Basically, I'm using you as accountability. I need your help. I've just been in such a kind of life lull. It's got me very slumpy reading wise. And so I find that when I am vlogging, I will set the time aside and stay focused longer to actually read. And it's important not only because I enjoy to read, but I notice that when I am reading more, just other things in my life tend to go, other things in my life tend to go better because I'm doing the things that I need to do. I'm not sure if I'm making sense there, but what am I reading? So I am just a little bit into The Ocean at the End of the Lane by Neil Gaiman. How far am I? I'm 36 pages in, and what's your main character's name? Do I know? I don't know what his name is. Our main character is visiting his childhood town as an adult. And from what I believe so far, we're basically going to be getting an idea of his time as a child, particularly with this friend, Letty, I think her name was. And they had this pond at behind her house, and she refers to it as an ocean, even though it's just a pond. And so I think there's going to be some kind of like childhood magical whimsy imagination kind of things involved in that. So yeah, that's basically where I'm at with that. And then I am very slowly reading, and I haven't touched it in probably at least a week, East of Eden by John Steinbeck. This is a book that I've wanted to read for a really long time, and I just haven't ever got to it. So I have these beautiful editions. I have everything. I have kind of all the main Steinbecks except for Of Mice and Men in these editions. They look really nice. Cannery Row and The Grapes of Wrath in East of Eden. They look really nice together on the shelf. Speckled Edges and French Flaps. So it's just a really lovely book to handle and read from, and it's nice and floppy, which is important for a big guy like that. The other thing I'm actually reading is the NAFC weight training manual. I'm in the process of becoming a personal trainer. I'm going to be working in person at my gym. I'm already a nutrition and health coach, and I do online training, essentially online programming for my clients, but I'm actually going to start physically working at my gym and in collaboration with them for my health coaching business. So that's where I'm at right now. I've got Lo-Fi Girl on the TV right there. I also would really like to do some kind of cleaning and stuff this weekend. Definitely need to get a workout in, but what I would like to do right now, I already spent some time at the coffee shop studying. And so I brought myself home a refill and just put it into my cup there. And yeah, I think I'm gonna do the timer method because that really works for me. I'll set like a 25-minute timer, and then kind of at minimum, I need to read for that 25 minutes. And when the timer goes off, if I'm still into what I'm doing, I just keep going. But it's just short enough time that if I'm struggling to focus, I can kind of like, it's only 25 minutes. Just focus and get back to it, and that tends to really help me. And I usually just get into what I'm doing. If at the end of 25 minutes I'm feeling unfocused, I'll probably, do a chore. I've got the living room just kind of cluttered. I also need to vacuum, and so there's plenty of things I can do that's productive if I'm not feeling it after 25 minutes. So it's 12:30 now. I just I did my about 30 minutes reading. The timer went off, and I had 3 pages left in a chapter. So I finished that off, and then I was just so tired. I was so sleepy, and so I just let myself lay there, and it was one of those, I probably napped, but I just felt like I mostly laid there. But eventually I had to get up. So I just cleaned some stuff up, and because I needed to get my body moving. I wasn't quite ready to leave to head to the gym. The mental space wasn't quite there yet. So I picked up some stuff around the house, so I feel better about that. And now I'm going to, actually I have my offer letter from the gym. I got to turn that in, and then I'll read The Ocean at the End of the Lane on a treadmill for a bit. And then my baseball game is starting in a little bit, so I'll probably listen to that while I work out. And then, yeah, come home and study some more. I don't really have much to talk about the ocean at the end of the lane quite yet, other than we just started to get into some, I don't know if it's magical realism, what is happening, but some non-realistic stuff has just started to happen. And then again, this is all him looking back at his childhood, at his time with this girl, this neighbor girl, Letty, who's a few years older than him. So there we are. So, spur of the moment decision here. I'm paddleboarding. I'm on Lake Natoma. My co-working space is basically just up there. And I came in, I needed to get some weights that I needed to bring home and take to the Memorial Day workout I'm hosting tomorrow at a local park. And we have these paddle boards, and it's a beautiful day. It's like 76 degrees. And I thought, yeah, let's just go paddleboarding. So I'm actually going to read the ocean at the end of the lane here, just chilling in the sun on the paddleboard on this beautiful day. Like, the temperature almost feels like there's like no temperature. It's that perfect amount of like just barely warm, and then a breeze every now and then. The water's freezing, but every now and then I'll stick a foot in to splash. But yeah, it feels amazing out here. So I just paddled, bridges are way down there, and I just paddled over here to the bluffs. And so further down that way, about half mile or so, is the eagle's nests. So you can actually go, there's a trail up there, and you can go and see them, and there's like an eagle nest like video and everything on there. And then I live about 2 miles downriver that way, and then about a half mile on foot, or about a mile on foot once you get down the river. So I'm just enjoying it. So I don't know what I'm gonna do now. I guess I'm just gonna take my time heading back. So Memorial Day weekend, this flag goes up. This is actually 2 bridges. The cement one is the Rainbow Bridge, and then the one behind it where you see the actual flag is a truss bridge that's on the other side of it. It's like a pedestrian bridge. It's an old historic bridge. Well, they're both just historic at this point. But anyway, that flag goes up Memorial Day weekend, and then it stays up past Labor Day. I'm spinning. I'm spinning away from it, but I'm just having a lovely time. I just read a chapter of the ocean at the end of the lane, and it is fantastic. There are parts of it that it's like really page turny. There's definitely magical realism, but it's in a way that it's not explained, and he isn't understanding really what's going on, other than some like crap is happening to him. But this kind of like magical stuff all seems to has something to do with Letty and her family, and they are like the safe place of refuge for him, and they've kind of just saved him from a bad person. My tan line looks really, really strong right now. I think it's just the lighting. It is really strong. What always surprises me is not how dark I am, but actually how white I am. We've got all these birds in these bird nests. They're all along the underside. I don't know if you can see those or not. I think maybe they're swallows. Maybe Heidi or Doris, our resident booktube naturalists, will know what they are, but they're everywhere, all along the underside of the bridge. And right now they're just flying around everywhere, chirping their little hearts out. We've got a flotilla here. The speed limit's 5 miles per hour on this lake, so you don't see a lot of motorboats, but nice. All right, I've got to read this little bit because I was literally having this conversation in my head, thinking about this earlier today, and I was thinking about how, so I recently met somebody who we're probably close in age. She may be like 5 years older than me or something, but she's one of the few people I know who like seems like a proper grown-up. And so this, a lot of what this book is really about is about who we are on the inside versus who we are on the outside. And the boy is saying to Letty that he doesn't think that grown-ups are monsters, are afraid of anything, and he thinks that Ursula is a monster, and she's a grown-up and a monster, therefore she's not afraid of anything. "Oh, monsters are scared," said Letty. "And as for grown-ups," she stopped talking, rubbed her freckled nose with a finger. "Then I'm going to tell you something important. Grown-ups don't look like grown-ups on the inside either. Outside, they're big and thoughtless, and they always know what they're doing. Inside, they look just like they always have, like they did when they were your age. The truth is, there aren't any grown-ups. Not one in the whole wide world." She thought for a moment, then smiled. Except for Granny, of course. Here comes the flotilla again. I feel like I've done a terrible job of describing what this book is about so far, so I'm going to give it another shot to give you just a synopsis, kind of. So our main character, I don't know if we know his name, or I don't know what his name is. Our main character. So at the beginning, he has traveled back to his hometown for a funeral. And he's kind of drawn to this neighbor's old place. Letty was the name of the girl, and then he's taking us back to this time he's remembering where he was 7 and Letty was 11, and they meet, and she kind of helps him out, and he gets to see this pond behind her house, and she calls it the ocean. She's like talking about like these magical things and where her family comes from and stuff like this. And then I think it's the next day, the mom gets a new job, and they need someone to take care of the kids. And so this woman, what's her name? Just blanked on her name. Oh my goodness, what's her name? Ursula gets hired to be the like nanny and housekeeper, and everybody loves her. Especially the little girl, his sister, and but he is like terrified of her, and she's doing terrible things to him, and seems to be turning kind of everyone against him, and it's like she exists as a different person practically to the other people rather than him, and really turns his dad against him, and his dad kind of is like a terrible thing, and he runs away in the middle of the night during a storm and is basically saved by Letty and her family. And there's a lot of like magical stuff going on, and Letty's family seems to have some sort of magical abilities, and that's kind of where we are. And he was the like door for Ursula, this some sort of magical being, to like come into the world. And apparently these types go in and out of the world, and Letty's family are kind of the maybe like keepers of them or something. They have like the ability to send them back to where they came from. And so I guess the whole story is going to be like this saga of Ursula getting back to where she was supposed to be, because his family is still kind of under her spell, I guess. I'm back out here. It's Memorial Day. It is 3:27. I started the day, so I don't think I talked about this at all, but I created, so you may be familiar with CrossFit. They do these hero WODs, hero workout of the day, where they're honoring a particular hero, and the classic Memorial Day WOD is called Murph. And it's meant for people who do CrossFit. So it's very intense. Even for what we call like a gym pop person, it's very difficult. And I've done it multiple times. I've never done it fully as prescribed. I've never done it with a weighted vest. I've always had to do like the pull-ups. It's 100 pull-ups. I can't do 100 pull-ups unassisted, and so I've always done band assisted. So I wanted to create a more accessible workout for more of the gen pop to gym pop person that would actually be challenging but accomplishable, and that required no additional equipment. And so I created the Sergeant Sam Memorial Workout. If you follow me on Instagram, you may have seen it, especially if you follow me not at Aaron Go Read, but at Reformed Health Coach. You would have seen all about it. And so I did that this morning. I led a couple gals. I literally just yesterday thought like, oh, I should make this like an actual Facebook event, not just to like do it on your own, and just like, hey, come join me at the park in my neighborhood. And so I had 2 ladies who came and joined me, a friend and a client. And so it was really cool to get to share that with them. And we kind of finished off with this beautiful view, actually looking over this very water just a couple miles that way. And so now I have kind of the rest of the afternoon, evening to myself, which is really nice because I'm definitely feeling some anxiety symptoms. It's one of those things where I feel it in my body, even though I'm not necessarily aware, I'm not like thinking about anything that's causing me anxiety, but I have this weird feeling in my body. So anyway, I think I'm gonna finish the ocean at the end of the lane here. And actually, the water is just bringing me over to this little spot. I turn around. Yeah, so this just like overhang of tree right here. Earlier when I was starting to feel that anxiety, I had a break in between clients, and there's this tree that like kind of overhangs the water, and the branches are strong enough that I can actually climb up into it, and it's like one of my little like meditation quiet spots. And so I just went up and like sat in this tree for like 10 minutes and just chilled while I had some time. So now I'm gonna chill out here some more and finish that book, and then I'm actually thinking about going to see either Top Gun or Downton Abbey tonight. And I think I'm gonna do Downton Abbey just because I think I'd be better off with more of a chill vibe than Top Gun. So that's I just beached myself here on accident. The water just beached me. But yeah, I just think I need more of a chill vibe, and so I'm basically taking the rest of the day as self-care time. So hopefully I'll have thoughts on the end of the book coming up next. So I've just finished, and hopefully at the very end, after the acknowledgement, there's a little bit from Neil Gaiman, just in case you're not sure about what the book is about that you just read. This is a novel of childhood and memory. It's a story of magic, about the power of stories, and how we face the darkness inside each of us. It's about fear and love and death in families, but fundamentally, I hope, at its heart, it's a novel about survival.